Well, for many years, I've been a fan of the band U2. They're an Irish band that started in the 70s and 80s. They're still around, still performing, and still have great music. And one of my favorite songs is just simply called 40. And it is Psalm 40. And I've enjoyed the song for years, but I was reading the psalm again, and I was struck by the very first verse. It says, I waited patiently for the Lord. I just found myself thinking, I don't want to wait anymore. I don't want to be quarantined. I don't want church to be closed. I don't want the businesses to be closed. I don't want the government to be in charge. I want my freedoms back. I want to go to the beach. A lot of I want, right? Well, the psalmist says simply, I waited patiently for the Lord. And I think that there's some beauty in that one phrase. And thankfully there's more to the psalm, and I want to read it this morning. It says this, I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. He drew me up from the pit of destruction, out of the miry bog, and he set my feet upon a rock, making my footsteps secure. He put a new song in my mouth, a song of praise to our God. And many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. See, just two things I want to encourage us in today. Number one, when we wait for the Lord, we're waiting for someone who always delivers. God is the one who always delivers. And verse 1 answers the question, which is simply this, what am I waiting for? Well, I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined and heard my cry. Our God hears us. We're not waiting for a God who doesn't listen and is ignorant and callous, but rather we have a God who hears. So first, we wait patiently on the Lord. We can do that. Again, another thing I love about the Psalms is that David just lays it out like it is. Have you laid it out like you believe, like you think, like you want to question the Lord? You can wait on Him. He hears you. He hears me. He inclines. And not only does He hear, but He hears our cry and He acts. And in this particular place, He puts us in a solid place and He gives us joy. Sets my feet upon a rock. He lifts us out of our pain and our suffering, and He puts us on a rock, maybe not physically necessarily healing us, but in a very real sense, He gives us a foundation from which we can live our lives. So much so that we can live with joy. And that's what the psalmist here says. He says, God put a new song in my mouth. I want to encourage you in a couple ways. Put your trust in the Lord. Wait on Him. And secondly, don't be afraid to sing the new song, to find joy even in the midst of waiting. I love verse 3. It says that many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. And then verse 4 reminds us, how can I be happy even in the midst of coronavirus? It says this, blessed is the man who makes the Lord his trust. Where are you putting your trust today? Is it in the government? Is it in a stimulus check? Is it in your health? Is it in your bank account? None of those things will make you happy, make you blessed. They will simply be distraction or a place that you could worship instead of the Lord, who not only hears you, but He gives you a new song. He gives you joy.